Streams and some honestness, I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go.
How to record on your phone and listen to music. I think that might be what causes me to have to get a camera or to get another phone line, because when I'm working out, really like to have music going at the same time. And I'll be watching the video, but I really like having the music in the background. Sometimes it's music, sometimes it's Eric Thomas or Jim Rohn's or like a motivational video like this compiled together. So if you know how to be on your phone and record at the same time and listen to music, let me know if there's a hack for that. Otherwise, I might just need to get another device, right? I'm trying to get the TV working. It says the network is not connected, which usually means it's just unplugged. I did unplug everything behind the TV, so I'm trying to get it turned back on. I got my water. I don't know what happened. Like when I was running, I could feel I was running at like 5.6 speed. And mind you, is that a real phrase? I haven't ran, right? I haven't ran since maybe, it's been a few weeks, like where I tried to run. So I just put it on 5.6 and just start running. So I could feel the burning in my chest. It was almost like running, like shakes some stuff up on the inside of you. And so, it like, I don't know. So it had me like coughing and trying to clear out my throat. If y'all know what that is, let me know what that is. Anybody that knows or have an idea or a hypothesis of what it could be, I would love to hear. If this isn't gonna work, then I don't know. I might just have to go for a walk and see if it's working when I come back. Let me check something real quick. So I'm gonna unplugged it again, trying to plug it back in. Has anybody else noticed like random bruises on you? I don't know what's happening. I think I'm hitting myself up against stuff and I don't have as much fat. Look, I'm relating everything to fat. Because I don't have as much fat, maybe I bruise a little bit easier. Or is that not a thing? I don't know. It don't want to work for me today. I don't know. I think it's working. Okay, so I'll kind of put you guys down here because I didn't bring my stand. So I'm going to have to bring a whole get up like when I come to the gym for Vlogmas. My goodness, y'all. It's to be a whole production show. All right, so that way y'all can see. Dang, it's saying networks doesn't want to connect. I really want to get my workout in, so please work. Let me sign into the guest one. This is crazy. Maybe there's an outage or something. Y'all, what's my backup plan? My backup plan, go ahead, go for a walk maybe. That way I can get my steps in. I just don't have heavy enough weights to do lift with the seat at home, because I like to use the ones that I know is gonna really make a difference. So maybe I wonder if I can do more reps with lower weights, if that would be the equal to heavier weights. I'm gonna Google it. I'll be back, y'all. Okay, she was able to come in here and figure it out for me. So we got Lift with C over there in the background. Y'all see her? Okay. And so I'm gonna be, I start at American Family tomorrow. So I'll be going into the office every day until I start working from home 1 day a week. And so I'm not sure I'm not gonna want to get out because it's a little bit different on the schedule. I guess I could still do my 20-minute workouts. I'm trying to decide if I want to just go ahead and go to a 30-minute. I'm gonna do a 30-minute today. I did a 20-minute yesterday. So I might do a 20-minute. I guess she said every other day. Yeah, I'm trying to think through this. Okay. Anyway, I will record some of this, but like I was telling y'all in the last clip, I really like to listen to my stuff. So I'm probably not gonna show y'all very much. Maybe the third set I'll record a little bit because then it gives me some time with the music. Let's get it, y'all. It's Vlogmas. Hey! So I'm doing a little bit of multitasking here for this first day of Vlogmas. So you probably just saw me working out, and now I'm getting my steps in. If you didn't see the video, in December I'm doing a step challenge. Real simple, just get 50,000 steps in a week. That's less than 10,000 in a day. Definitely doable, because if you're anything like how I used to be, just counting out the whole month of December and just saying I'm gonna start fresh in January. And instead of doing that, I am deciding that I'm going to start now, right? Why not start now? And so what I wanted to share today is kind of my history around dieting and why I usually say, like, everything that I've learned about losing weight is coming into play now that I have a specific tool that I use and that's really been helpful and effective, right? So if you don't know me, I'm Coach Kofia, help women heal, thrive, and become mentally fit and physically fit. I don't think I introduced myself at all throughout this whole vlog, but during the month of December, I'm posting a video every single day just related to just different things I want to talk about and things that I find helpful around my wellness journey. So I remember being as young as like high school, because I remember I lived in Blue Springs. I graduated from high school in Blue Springs, and I remember having that Thigh Master. Does anybody remember the Thigh Master? Oh my God. So I remember having the Thigh Master as young as high school. I don't think I really knew about my weight. I mean, I knew that I was probably the biggest girl in the classroom, or at least like the second biggest, and as far as like round, but I didn't really take an active step to try to lose weight that I remember until high school. I got the Thigh Master. It was around that time too that I started working. And so, just buying your own clothes, seeing the sizes, seeing how other people dressed and all that stuff. And so I just remember that being that age and doing the Thigh Master. Then I remember in my teens, I remember starting to use like diet pills and that and energy stuff, because I remember working third shift at one of my jobs, and that was, so I graduated high school in 2002, and I remember working overnight in 2005. And so that kind of turned me on to energy drinks and diet pills, and I was like, oh, I can get energy and this will help me suppress my appetite. So I got into that and I lost some weight. I remember losing some weight in my 20s from diet pills. I got down to, I think, like 163, and at that time I was very nicely proportioned. That's the lowest weight I ever remember being as an adult. I remember my arms being super small. I remember getting into a size 10 dress for like a New Year's Eve party. I'm gonna see if I can find that New Year's Eve party dress. My hair was cut like asymmetrical. Baby, you couldn't tell me nothing. Do you hear me? Nothing. And I remember just feeling really, really good in my body and really fit too, because like my arms was popping. And I have to show y'all a picture of my dad, because that will explain a lot about just like my size, my shape, and that kind of thing. He's very muscular. I was talking to Daddy on Thanksgiving, and he was telling me he is like 5'8", I want to say, and he weighs about 230, but you couldn't tell. Like, he is very solid, very muscular, very fit looking. He don't have a beer belly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's very fit. And so that's the lowest weight I ever remember being. I remember doing a bit with Weight Watchers and tracking everything. I remember having like a diary, a food diary, and that was the first time I'd ever knew about like writing down what I ate and just keeping track of my points. I was literally living on the point system. Do you hear me? And so I can't remember where I started. I want to say I was over 200. I want to say maybe like 210, 220, and I think I got to like 180. I lost 30 or 40 pounds. And then when I got married in 2010, I'm gonna see if I can find a video for that, a picture. In 2010, I was probably like 190, 185, 190. I was coming out of, I was still somewhat fit. I had gained, I think, a little bit of weight back, but like my arms, I just remember in my dress, I was like, bought my dress from like TJ Maxx. I still have it. My daughter tried it on the other day. But I remember my dress, my arms was looking right in the dress. I was like, let me just get back down to that. So I don't know what weight that is, but that might be something that I try on and show you guys a picture of how that looks and see for myself how it looks, my wedding dress. And so I just remember when I was married, you know, I kind of stayed after my daughter, my first daughter, I was at 220. I think I started at 220, got all the way up to like, I don't know, 250, 260. Second daughter, 240, 250. Third daughter, I think I got up to like, when I was pregnant with her, I think maybe as high as like 270, 262, 270. And then after my third daughter, who will be 7, I started at 262, I think, after I delivered her. And as at that time, I got down to like 209. Not with the same body composition that I have now. I have way more muscle and my body's just a lot leaner now. But I got down to 209. I want to say I stayed at 209 for like 5 minutes. I was not eating right. I was eating real food, but I wasn't tracking, like nourishing my body. You know how I, am much more intentional now about what I eat, how much I eat, making sure I do my protein and stuff. I wasn't like that. And so yeah. Okay, so I was just saying, like, I was not as, my body shape was not the same. Got down to 209, and then she was born 2018, I want to say. 2019, 2020. I think I kept some of the weight off, and then I just started gaining it back. 2021, 2022, 2023. And so that, I had tried another diet called Optavia, and I think I was like 248, and I think with Optavia I got down as low as like 230. Optavia, though, is a very low calorie, basically like a keto diet, but it's very low calorie. So you eat like 5 nourishments a day, and they're all each about 100 calories, and then you have one lean and green. So one meal, real meal, that you purchase, like that you make, and it's just meat and protein. It's very limited. It's like 0 carbs, because of the nourishments, or like the little supplements, food type bars and oatmeals and just different packaged things. They were all like less than 150, 200 calories, and you mix them with water and whatever. So, but on that specific diet, what I learned from that was that my body does very well with low carbs, with little to no carbs. And I was just seeing how much energy I had, and I just saw like how good I felt from that diet. It just wasn't sustainable, because it wasn't really like, I guess I didn't make it to the maintenance phase, but I just couldn't wrap my mind around doing something for a little bit of time, and then I'm like, my problem is I need something that I can sustain. And if they weren't like, it just didn't seem like it was teaching me habits from the beginning, because of the low nutrients I was taking in. It wasn't teaching me habits on how to nourish my body. It was more of like, I don't know, I just couldn't wrap my mind around it. So yeah, so I lost like 20 some pounds on that pretty quickly, and then of course gained it all back. And then that brought me to, 2024, in April 11th of 2024, on the InBody scale at the supplement store, I weighed in at 254 or 253, basically like 254. And then I went in today, and this is with my clothes on and stuff. I went in today and I weighed in at 202. And so I started in April with 74 pounds of muscle, and now I'm at 64 pounds of muscle. So in this amount of time, I've lost 10 pounds. Is it 10 pounds? Yeah, like 10 pounds of muscle. And for them, basically like 50 pounds, and 10 pounds of it was muscle. But again, they were saying it might have been the muscle that they're showing that I lost could actually be water, because it's the same amount of, like, the numbers reflect the same. So yeah, so I have had my fair share of weight loss and trying to do things to get to a specific weight. I remember doing a course. It was called Eat to Live, and I paid for, like, one thing about me, baby, I will invest, okay? Once I learned about investing and putting, like, anything that I buy for me is an investment in me. I just said I'm gonna be the best return on investment. I'm gonna get the highest return on investment when I put something in me. And even if I don't get the results maybe that they're looking for, I'm going to find a lesson. And so in that 8-week program, really focused on a lot of the mindset and different tips and strategies on how to deal with cravings and stuff like that. And they literally worked. I just wasn't in a place to practice, right? It just seemed, I think I just felt like it was bigger than me. It just seemed so much bigger than me. And I hadn't done any type of, like, as much mental work as I have now, personal development, really focusing on, how I think, what I think, my perspective, questioning my thoughts and questioning my fears and questioning, the things that I hold near and dear to me as beliefs, and, really asking myself, is this something that I intentionally am deciding to believe because of who it came from, or am I, is this something that's going to serve who God created me to be, right? Or is it something that I kind of picked up along the way and have just, it brought me here, but it's not going to get me there. So knowing what I know from that program and really just applying it to having the tool that really helps me with my appetite, having a tool that helps me with, really just changing the way my body metabolizes food, has been a game changer. And so why I picked the GLP-1 medication, it's like, why did I pick the GLP-1 medication? I knew there was something. I knew, like, I just had hope, right? I legit I have a lot of hope in a lot of different, like, I have hope in God. I have hope and I believe what he says. And I just believed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe that there was something that I was missing. You know what I mean? I believe that there was something that I didn't fully understand. I believe that there was something that was outside of me, outside of my, like, control, in the sense of I can't go inside my body and, like, make the medicine work how it's working. But the medicine can go in and do that. Like, I didn't have the right tool, I guess, is ultimately why. And I was willing to try any tool until I got to where I wanted. Once I decided, okay, Kofia, I was happy with my weight. I was happy. And maybe, I was happy for where I was at, but I also think maybe I just got very content. I was just super content with my life and grateful for everything, in this place of, like, God, if you don't do nothing else for me, if you don't do nothing else, you've done so much. And then when it kind of shifted to, okay, Kofia, I'm bringing you these guys and you're not feeling them. You might need to do a little bit of work around here. You know what I'm saying? Figure out, okay, who is the type of person that you desire, and, what is it? And I guess, to be like, as I'm reflecting and sharing this with you guys, I guess deep down, I didn't want to get with somebody and they get me when I didn't know I was at my best, right? Like, I didn't want to get with somebody and then wonder, if I was at my best, would I have chosen differently? That's good. That's good, because that's deep. It was more so like, I knew what I was capable of. I know my potential, right? I know what God has revealed to me as my potential. And I'm sure he'll reveal more as I progress or whatever. Thank you. But I'm telling you, like, I was like, I'm pulling these guys, and this might be, like, super shallow, but I'm pulling these guys, but let me get to my best, baby. Let me get to my best, okay? Because I want the best. And I don't know, like, that could be, and I'm looking down because it's, like, snowy right here. But I'm open enough, I'm humble enough to say, maybe even that mindset isn't the best, you know what I mean? But I think that is a real honest perspective on, the changes that I've decided to make. And at first I would say, I remember having a conversation with God, and I was like, God, I want a man that I can look at him and I can tell that he cares about his health. And I remember hearing like, well, do you look like that? And I remember getting to a place where I was like, okay, Lord, are you right? Like, you absolutely right. I need to show up, because I felt like in other areas of my life, I show up for what I expect, right? Like, there's some things that I ask God specifically for. Like, I want a man who is capable of articulating his needs, his desires, his wants in a way that is healthy, right? And so basically a man that's emotionally mature, a man who has great character and strives to be his best, not from like a perfectionist standpoint, but is aware of the areas that he falls short in, and or is open to having someone else speak into his life and be able to call out those things, right? In a way that's, of course, respectful and all that, right? And so I had, though, in those areas, like I show up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want a man who um has a relationship with God, who believes in the word of God, like who ultimately wants to please God in the way that he lives. And so I do that. I want a man who has children, and he cares for his children. Like, family is a big thing to him. And I do that. I show up in that area. A person who is honest with themselves and who is authentic, right? So a person who just shows up confidently in who they are and not so much worried about what other people think, right? It's like, and I do that. And so it was just this one area as it relates to my health and fitness. And I don't want to even say my health, because like, my health is great. I am in great health. The only thing that I was needing to adjust is the weight size. And like, I wasn't intentional with like my food choices. I wasn't intentional with moving my body and strengthening my body and really taking care of it. And God even showed me some stuff about worship, and I'll have to make that a separate video because it's like a whole lesson. So that has been my journey as it relates to why I decided to do GLP-1. The other thing I would mention is I mentioned before, like, I'm willing to invest, because I'm definitely willing to invest for my health. I'm willing to invest for really anything. And I think a part of that is when I learned what leverage means. So most people who are successful in business, or who are successful in their families, who are successful in their relationships, their health, they understand leverage. And what I understand leverage to mean is using resources to make up in leverage what I am maybe lacking in ability. So using leverage to put me on an even playing field, or set me even above where I used to be, right? And so it's really looking at, this medicine. I think it is, like, if we're honest with each other, like if we're honest with ourselves, taking a GLP-1 is a lot easier than fighting tooth and nail to try to count calories and lose weight. Like, taking a GLP-1 is easier than not taking a GLP-1. And so to me, the GLP-1 is leverage. It's almost like if we are both going the same distance, and I'm on a bike, but you're in a car. And Myron uses this example. So I'm on a bike, you're in a car. Well, you're going to get there faster because you're using a different type of leverage. The vehicle that you're using goes faster, right? And so does that make you a better person? No. Does that make you even a smarter person? No. It just means that you just understand leverage. So you're willing to invest in something that ultimately, if you look from the outside, costs a little more, but it's going to get you to the destination that you're trying to get to faster. And that's what I'm learning as it relates to, you know, people who I look up to, right? They have the life that inspires me to go forward, right? For me, you know, I've created these goals that I have in my life that I want to achieve, and you know, they have achieved it. And when I see like a little bit of inside of what they have used, it's leverage. They're willing to pay for the coach to get there faster. They're willing to invest in the courses to learn the skills. They are willing to use the medicine to help them, right? Some people, look, they want to bypass all of the work and just go get surgery. And does that make them a bad person? No. They have decided that they want to use that leverage to get to their results faster. And ultimately, like, in order for them to stay at that place, right? Hopefully they have learned to apply those things, but that ain't none of our business. And so that's how I look at taking this GLP-1 is I thank God that I have the resource. He gave me the ability to get wealth. He gave me the ability to be resourceful and figure out a way to pay for the medication. He gave me the ability, you know, to have access to it. I live in America. So, and I have decided that this for me is a priority because I also understand like where God is taking me. And part of that is we got to just be honest that people judge you based on your appearance. And that's just real, right? And in order to have the influence that you need to have, in order for you to even show them a glimpse of maybe what God wants you to show them, they see you first. They hear you first before they even know what your message is. They see you, they hear you. So how you show up, how I show up, you know, like take away as many barriers as possible so that they can hear what I'm saying, so that they can be influenced for good, right? And so that's the understanding that I have as it relates to why I'm taking this GLP-1, why I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is and use the leverage to get to my goal a little bit faster or at all if I don't use it. I know what God has put on the inside of me. I know that He has called me to specific people, and I encourage you to know that if you're watching this video, He called you too. Like he has a specific assignment for you, and you just have to be willing to be developed and break through the strongholds, the mindsets, the beliefs that maybe you have held on to that somebody passed on to you. Because in order for you to do what He's called you to do, you have to no longer believe maybe what you used to believe. And that's the biggest thing. It's not about the things that you can obtain or the things that you need to do as far as action. It's really about, okay, God, what are the beliefs that I hold, Lord, that you are not in agreement with? What's holding me back? And being willing to question those beliefs and searching His word to find out if those are things that He will want you to believe, if that's in alignment with the plan and purpose He has for you. So y'all just walk with me for a whole 20 minutes. I hope that this video is recorded and y'all have the sound. This is day 1 of Vlogmas. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll be on every single day. My intention is that each video will be at least 8 minutes. So this first video may be a little longer, but that's not going to be the norm, I don't think. Unless y'all like it. Look, if y'all like me walking and talking, you just let me know, because I love to talk. But I want it to be something of substance. I'm not a talker just to be hearing myself talk. I'm a talker to, okay, let's get you a concept. Let's get you an understanding. Like let's go deep on these thoughts and beliefs and stuff like that. So if this is something that you enjoy, definitely hit the like button. If you want to be notified when I go live and when I post a video, please hit the notification bell and scroll up and hit all. Again, this is December Vlogmas, day 1. We have 30, no, I'm gonna do 25 to Christmas. I'm gonna do 25 days, and remember to get your steps in, 50,000 steps per week, however you want to do that. Comment below and let me know what diets have you tried. Have you tried any of the diets that I have mentioned in this video, and what was your success with those, or not, you know, or what was yeah. So let's just have a conversation below. All right, y'all, go be great by what? Asking what's on your plate, and remember, we grow better together. Talk soon.